C4I2, or network-centric warfare, as it is better known in the Navy, has become a priority transformational goal for the Navy. I would say that the future in the Navy would be a technology-enabled network force for NCW. Robust security overlays and mechanisms would be required for all networks. Interoperability with other services for joint operations would be essential features of these networks. The future Indian Navy will operate in distant areas away from our shores for prolonged durations and be capable of projecting combat power across the littoral. It will have war-fighting capability to operate across the full spectrum of conflict. Network-centric capability will be the backbone for building the future Navy. Thank you for a patient hearing.
Ladies and gentlemen, in warlike situations, gaining air superiority or favorable air situation is a primary goal of the Indian Air Force. Air defense, a key element, is based on integration and coordination of all active and passive, ground as well as airborne sensors. The Indian Air Force is on course to become aerospace power and would be able to fulfill all its envisaged roles. The Indian industry, DRDO, PSU are playing an important role towards self-reliance in providing state-of-the-art weapon systems to the Indian Air Force and providing the necessary networking to reduce from sensor to shooter time. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Defense architecture frameworks had their beginnings with the U.S. Department of Defense C4I2 framework. That was based on the Zachman framework that was developed by John Zachman while he was still at IBM. In 2003, it was renamed the Department of Defense Architecture Framework and has since been standardized. A number of other architecture frameworks have been created typically based on DODAF. The UK Ministry of Defence has their MODAF. There's a NATO architecture framework referred to as NAF, and others countries have their own as well. So what is an architecture framework? But typically a series of work products that let you model something that's very large and complex, such as a very large organization or a large system or a system of systems, or you can model something smaller, a specific system that's being developed. The work products that make up the architecture frameworks generally are not specific to the frameworks themselves. They're using techniques that are something that any good systems engineer would use. So there are many reasons to adopt defense architecture frameworks. I think you'll find there's a lot of benefit to be found from them. And that's what I had today. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me.
As you are aware, Bharat Electronics is a premier defense PSU, serving the needs of the Indian defense forces for last almost 5 decades. With the advancement in technology and computers, it has become unavoidable for a warship to do without a command and control system. The state of automated command and control technology in Navy is characterized by a highly diverse employment of information technology. Command and control system can be characterized as a central point at which information from ships, sensors and communication systems arrive. Number 2, it's a point of control of weapons. Number 3, it's a point of sharing own data, tactical situation and intelligence. Thirdly, it is a tactical center manned and equipped to collect, present, manage and disseminate information. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of DRS Tactical Systems, I want to thank you all for inviting us here as one of the sponsors, and I'm truly privileged to be here to speak. From a joint perspective, hardware, software, or application integration.
There were a great deal of fears whether Indian industry would be able to survive the kind of competition it has to face. Gentlemen, in India particularly, our public sector organizations have a huge strength, have a huge potential. There were a great deal of fears whether Indian industry would be able to survive the kind of competition it has to face in a fiercely competitive world. And today you find that many of our corporates are globalizing, they are acquiring prestigious companies, and India today has a certain aura, a certain prestige. It is seen to be a power in the world. The fact that it has done so well in the area of information technology, in the area of manufacturing, and it has demonstrated to the world the capacity to be a leader in managing, to be a leader in rescuing companies which were in trouble elsewhere in the world, in being a leader in bringing about efficiency, being a technology leader, particularly in the sector of information technology. Thank you very much.
Whether you call it C4I2 or C4ISR, it is a new frontier in modern warfare. The modern battlefield is indeed becoming so complex, it is hard to know if we need to focus on arming ourselves with ones and zeros or bombs and bullets. As you rightly know, of course, we need both, as well as the platforms required to process and then deliver both. But it is the complexity that is so daunting, and the decisions that India makes today will have far-reaching consequences down the road. The choice in technology and platforms needs not only to be wise, but adaptable to the changes we most certainly know are coming tomorrow. The modern society demands it too for civilian protection. Regardless of whether they are at sea, in the sky, or on the ground, they all need timely, actionable information. Thank you.
DPP 2008 immediately evokes what is considered to be the symbol of bureaucratic lethargy. I agree, we have scope to improve 2008 too, but it's a great improvement, especially in the area of offsets. We have made great progress. For the first time, we have introduced offset banking. The defense private industry should not be kept away from the planning process in the Ministry of Defense. We have the long-term integrated planning system, LTIPP. But why will you not allow the private industry to partake in the formulation of this perspective plan so that they will also be in turn able to do the corporate planning? Thank you, gentlemen.
We have issued global RFPs which have also targeted Indian industry. We have also ensured that whenever technology was available in-house within the country, we have exclusively issued our RFPs to Indian industry to the exclusion of foreign OEMs. The private sector, the vendor, should either be an OEM or a joint venture partner with an OEM. Since this has all along been the preserve of our defense PSUs and the Ordnance Factory Board, there is hardly any private industry expertise in this field. So which comes first, the RFP or building of industrial capacity? Thank you.
For a customer, it would be necessary to allow this type of approach that you build and build something, test it, field it, and then you learn when it is used in the field, and then you watch the developments in technology and then change it little bit and continuously improve and upgrade. These type of systems would not perhaps allow any organization to reach a stage where what leaves your factory is already perfect and would need no attention for future. Thank you very much.
The summit, I believe, should go a very long way as a platform to disseminate and to enable the understanding of this very conceptual technology for the Indian Armed Forces and also the other security concerns such as homeland security.
Technology provides for almost all solutions that the defense forces require in the field of C4 and I2. There are solutions for practically all the projects that they have. For example, Rolta India Limited, as also Rolta Thales Limited, have very specific solutions to match up with their requirements.